Hello and welcome, gorgeous Geminis. My name's Rose Smith and I'm here with your August horoscope. Well, what a month we all had last month in July with those eclipses, those two new moons. If you were in the northern hemisphere, you would have got two. If you're in the southern hemisphere, in August you'll get two new moons. They're known as black moons, okay? So the 1st and the 30th, if you're in Australia, New Zealand, and some of those little Pacific islands, you're sort of ahead of the rest of the world in terms of time. So it falls on the 1st of August for the first new moon of the month, and then again on the 30th. So we have a much more peaceful month this month, thank God. Unbelievable. New technology messages and communications should be flowing much better this month. Alrighty, it's a time of new beginnings and to move forward, and anything that may have come up last month in the past should have been dealt with. So now you can make a decision and move forward one way or the other. Okay, so the first sees Mercury going direct. That's what I'm actually talking about. Because we've just had 3 to 4 weeks of Mercury retrograde doing its thing to try and catch us up, bring back things from the past to deal with. So hopefully we have dealt with those at the moment. But because Mercury has gone direct, then that's why we should now start to see things flowing more smoothly in terms of communications and actually understanding each other, because sometimes you can say something and people misinterpret, or they just don't really understand what you mean, or they think they understand but you have a totally different meaning to what they think. So we should be all on the same page a bit more this month in August. Okay, if you have a contract to sign, August is a great month for you to do that. Mind you, the first 5 days of August is still in the shadow period of Mercury, which means the energy of Mercury retrograde is coming off, but it's still there to some extent. So, maybe put off another couple of days if you're thinking about doing anything really important in terms of legalities or in terms of written contracts and agreements and that sort of thing. Travel plans should go more smoothly this month. If you did have to travel last month, you may have encountered delays or mistakes in your ticket and things like that, So, and I've had that happen to me, a mistake in the ticket, not my fault. The travel agency made a mistake and it was just so difficult to fix. Yeah. Okay, so the 12th sees Mercury joining the Sun, Venus and Mars in your 3rd house. You have got so much happening in your 3rd house of communications, and also your 4th house of home and family this month, gorgeous Geminis. Okay, so Sun, Venus and Mars in the 3rd. So if you have a small business, it's a great time for marketing, promotion. It's great if you want to write a blog, go on social media, communicate a message in some way, get your thoughts out into the general public and, spinning around the world globally. August is a great month for you. If you're thinking about starting a new business, if you're thinking about new technology, buying a new phone, laptop, desktop, whatever. If anybody still uses desktop, I still do. But yeah, I know, everybody's increasingly going over to mobile phones or cell phones. And so it is great if you want to upgrade your software, find a new service provider, a new telco. Anything to do with technology should work much better this month than last month. Also, the 3rd house is about siblings. And sometimes we don't, we hear all about messages and technology and that sort of thing, but we don't hear about siblings. So with the energy in the 4th house that I'll talk about in a minute, it could be there are more family gatherings and you could heal an argument that you've had with a sibling, or if there's been some distance with a sibling, and I'm feeling like for some reason it's particularly brothers rather than sisters. That's just coming through to me now. There's been some distance. You never see eye to eye, and it goes back decades, it goes back a long time, and maybe even to your childhood. And now I'm just hearing, and when somebody got married, there was some issue, so I don't know, obviously I'm talking to everybody, but there's somebody out there that when they got married there was a big issue with the brother, okay? And so this month is a great time for healing those old wounds that might be still sore under certain conditions. When scars, if there's a scar, sometimes under certain weather conditions it can play up. So you might be actually able to have a reasonable conversation and discussion. You may not get an apology, but you'll get a kind of acknowledgement that though that person was in the wrong in some way. Okay, so you can move ahead as a family, which is great. Okay, so the 15th sees a full moon in your 9th house. Okay, so this is lovely for changes in spirituality, higher learning, wisdom, and also travel. Okay, so there could be some changes around foreign connections. You may be thinking of going on a trip, or you might plan or even book a trip in August overseas or some extended sort of distance. But there's this feeling of it's more exotic than where you normally are, and so foreign connections are really favoured in this regard. You could have this month, you could have a lot to do with studying. You might be thinking even about studying overseas, okay? And it's a good month for that. So traveling, foreign connections, learning, spirituality, the esoteric, okay? Psychic readings, astrology, all of the normal things that are more, down in your subconscious. You might decide that you want to bring them out to the surface and to really let that be part of your life and to own it, okay? So there's no need to sort of be hiding things under the covers. You might feel that you're going to bring it out into the open finally. Okay, the end of the month from the 19th on is huge in terms of what's going on in your home and family, because on the 19th we have Mars in your 4th, on the 22nd we have Venus, on the 24th we have the Sun, and on the 30th we've got the new moon, all in your house of home and family. Okay, so this implies that there's going to be awareness, insightfulness, even happiness around your home and family. So there's two sort of possible aspects. It could be the actual family members, and the happiness might even be because somebody falls pregnant, although that's not likely for the majority of you. I feel that's sort of in the minority. So it's there's also the chance that you'll renovate because Venus is there. Venus loves beauty, so you could renovate your home or redecorate. And even if it's just something like painting a feature wall, which doesn't really require much to paint one wall, and buy some new cushions. So Venus wants your home to be your beautiful sanctuary, a place that you can go for peace and quiet. And if it's not that, in August that's a great time for making your home your sacred sanctuary. And if you're sharing with other people, at least find some spot in the house, even if it's in your bedroom, where you can set up like not so much a shrine, but an area where you can sit and reflect, and because the energy really builds up over time. So you can sit and reflect and just make it beautiful any way you can. Even if you've got to go outside and find some stones from the river, or some seashells from the beach, or some driftwood, or maybe in the forest some unusual sorts of branches or something like that, or some leaves or flowers you can press in a book and get some dried flowers, to make this area But the important thing is it's your personal area and you don't share it with other people. It's just for you to sit and reflect about what's going on in your life. Okay, so a huge month in terms of home and family, where long-standing issues, especially with siblings, can be healed. Now I'm just going to have a look psychically for you. So I've got the moon, the full moon here in my face right now on a quiet, still night. And that's what I can see. And I can actually feel she's working her magic, and it's like this vibration, this pulsation that I'm becoming aware of. And she's just gently bringing these things up out of your subconscious. But I don't feel it's traumatic or negative in any way. They're showing me a pyramid now, which usually is a symbol I see for chakras. So about allowing the different areas in your body, particularly the chakras, to open up. And if you don't know what chakras are, go and have a look at one of my recent videos, How to Become Spiritual. That will explain it. Okay, opening up and letting yourself be who you really are, because although the world can be a dangerous place, it's important to have safe places where you can be yourself and you can be authentic. Alrighty, let's have a look in the cards now, and we'll look in the tarot cards first to see what happens for gorgeous Geminis in August 2019. Alrighty, I can see a lot of light coming down into areas of darkness, and we have the Queen of Pentacles here. Okay, the Queen of Pentacles. So, if you've had some issues with finances perhaps, August is a wonderful time to get it sorted out, because the Queen is in control and she really knows what she's doing with her money. Okay, it's not just money though, it's also physical things. Okay, Pentacles is a very physical type of suite of cards, or a very physical energy. So she's happy, she's organised, she's got a sense of achievement because she's done very well with her with the physical aspects of her life. And this also includes the body, because the body is physical as well. So if you've got any niggling health problems, this energy is a help with that. Of course, you need to be moving around. You know, some of us don't like the word exercise, but movement is important. Exercise is a very value-laden word, so movement, if you prefer that word. But yeah, just get out and do something. But Queen of Pentacles is a great card. There's happiness and achievement and a sense of success around you on the physical level in August. Okay, now let's have a look at these other cards, the psychological cards. Psychological cards, and there's two parts to them. If you haven't been on here before, there's an inner card and an outer card basically. So I'm just shuffling up the inner cards now for you gorgeous Geminis, and there we have two people inside a structure that looks a little bit like a church. Let's just call it a sacred structure. It may not be a church. Now that's the inner card. Now let's have a look now at the outer card that card will sit upon, okay, for Gemini in August 2019. And there's one getting stuck in my, oh wow, this is strong. Can you see what that word says? It says lie, as in dishonest. Okay, so we put one inside the other, and this is what we get. I was just talking about the church, but it may not be the church, but it's something that was thought to be sacred, and it's not. Okay, it's a lie. Now, you need to ask yourself, are you a member of any organisations that are cult-like, or not telling the full truth? You might only be getting part of the truth. This is really, really important, but it's really, really good, because finally you will find out what the truth is. You should listen to yourself, okay? Listen to your inner feelings. Whoever these people are, don't take on board everything they say as gospel truth, okay, because they might not be telling you the full story, okay. So it's really important you listen to yourself, because there is a lie here, an untruth in the background. And when you work out what that is and you release that energy, and it might even be to do, there mightn't be anything physical out there in the world that this relates to. This might be a lie that you've told yourself. It could be a belief system like, I have to work hard to get ahead. Well, not necessarily. You may have to, but more important than that is you have to work smart. So you haven't got the full story. If it is a belief system, there's something that's not quite right there. So you need to retweak your beliefs if that's the case. But how good that is that you can finally work that out in August. So it is a month of new beginnings for you. It's a month of relative calmness and peace after July. Thankfully, we can all take a bit of a breather and have this sense of relief. So looking forward to August, and I'd like to thank you for tuning in. And if you feel so inclined, please leave me a like, comment, and subscribe. I'm trying to build my channel. Thanks so much. Don't forget to click the notification bell so you get my regular updates. And most importantly, have a beautiful month, dear gorgeous Geminis. Okay, bye for now. Thanks so much for watching. Please visit my website absolutesoulsecrets.com for all things spiritual. Have a lovely day.